Good evening. This is OmniDog. Welcome to OmniBros Live. That's right. I said I'm OmniBog. OmniBog. This is OmniBog with on Omni. I'm having trouble already. Riley, why don't you take it from here? Who are you?
I am not OmniDog or OmniBog, and this is still OmniBros Live. I am not your host, Riley, the Omnibus Collector Moore, and your host, the bumbler and mumbler over there is Jess, the Omnibra,
The
the
OmniBra.
the Omnifrog, the OmniDog, Bragg.
Thank you. Hello. There's
And
Yavash. Watcher, Yavash.
we've got I guess an exciting show for everyone tonight.
Yeah, we're going to be discussing our favorite comic book covers. And of course, since I am such a huge nerd, I have about 40 that are my favorites. But there's a reason behind all of them. And the main reason is I just love them. So that's really the reason that I love them.
And I picked out a stack of maybe 20, I guess, from my short box, my very small collection of singles, because we just decided on this topic like today, I guess, and I didn't know what else to pick out.
Well, we kind of decided on it last Thursday, but that's okay.
Oh, I didn't know that. No one told me. No one updates me on these things.
That's cool. Another thing we love is our fabulous sponsor, InStockTrades.com, where you can get up to 50% off all your collected editions, 2 to 3% add-on loyalty discounts every quarter, an Omnibroslive discount, which is huge. And order over $50, you get free shipping in the United States. Fabulous packaging and the best customer service around. That would be Emily, who we will be interviewing on Monday. Did you know that, Riley?
I did know that.
Okay. Well, that's InStockTrades.com. It's a big coup for us to get Emily because she's very shy. Higher than Cameron.
It's just two of us that are going to interview. And I know you have one of those slots. Do we know who else is going to be on the show?
Omar, if he gets power back.
Yeah, Omar's not on tonight because all of a sudden, like an hour before we were starting, he was like, "Hey guys, my power just went down."
You know what? I didn't even see that in the chat. That's unfortunate, but I do know, I do have a pic of his that he, when we were talking Monday or last Thursday when we were talking about it, and I have to give a shout out to whoever it was in the chat that mentioned covers, favorite covers as a topic, and whoever it was, raise your hand in the chat. Omar would remember, but since I have such a bad memory, I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Iron Cardinal or somebody else. I don't know. Yeah, but Omar's not going to be with us tonight, and Riley does count as a minority because he is half Chilean. It was Lionheart. Okay, Lionheart, thank you. Yes, Riley's half Chilean, so he does count as a minority, so this is not the all-white program.
What was the joke I said before the show? Oh, it's I was like, "So is it just us?" And you're like, "Yeah, it's just us." And I said, "Okay, it's the Just Us League."
That's right. It's the Just Us League because it's just us.
So yeah, first order of business, covers.
Right. So do you want to start?
Sure. I've got a stack. So like I was saying, like this is really just a stack from what I've got remaining of my singles collection, which is really not much. And most of my remaining singles I kind of would like to sell anyway. So we caught me while I still had some left. But I just glanced through and picked out the ones that I thought were like the best covers, or that we could ooh and ah over for a second.
I have a quick question for you. That
Yeah.
Joker by Jock behind you, was that a cover?
It was Detective Comics, I think was it 881?
So
I'm
you
gonna
must like that cover because it's blown up on your wall.
No, that was not the best cover.
What the hell's it doing on your wall then?
No, that's a good one.
Okay.
That was from towards the end of no, it was 880, I think. But it was towards the end of Snyder's run on Detective before the New 52 started. Yeah, it was issue 880, and then 881 was the finale. And yeah, I've always really enjoyed that cover. Just the little details, all the black shading is like a cloud of bats. I've always thought that that was a fantastic cover. I
Right.
had the singles. I bought those as they were coming out, and I sold them a while back for actually a decent amount of money because this cover in particular sold well. But I was like, I'd rather have it on a full poster than on a just the single. So
Mhm.
finally I got that, and I think I actually got that when you were in Austin and we went out to ABC. I
Oh,
bought
right.
I bought that and another an X-Men poster.
That's right. I forgot about that. Cool.
And that reminded me of for some reason it reminded me of a Daredevil cover that I really like, but I guess I'll look at that in a minute. But so yeah, these are just the ones I found in my stack of stuff. Um, Not even really that big of a fan of the Jim Lee #1 cover. It is a cool image, but it was I forgot I had it in there. I think I got it. Someone gave it to me. Let's see, I pulled out Legend of the Dark Knight #5, which is the first part of Morrison's Gothic run. So this is one of the earlier stories that Grant Morrison did with Batman. I think it was Klaus Janson. Yeah, Klaus Janson did the artwork on that one. Really nice image of Batman in front of some stained glass in the church. I have that entire Gothic arc in singles, but the other covers are not really my favorites. That one I think stands out. Moving over to a more recent one, issue #1 of Spider
Ooh,
Gwen.
yeah.
This one's really cool. All the covers for the Spider Gwen series are pretty awesome. The Robbie Rodriguez um, artwork. I just really love the fluorescent, like highlighter day glow colors that they put in there, the pinks and blues of her costume going against the neon skyline, and then that kind of like graffiti esque title on there. I think that's one of my favorite, probably recent covers for a series that I absolutely love. Here's a classic one. Not my favorite cover of the New Mutants, but my favorite mutant related series, and I have the first issue. So I decided I'd pull that out so we can kind of ooh and ah about that one.
That is
Um,
cool.
I would rather be showing off one of the Sienkiewicz covers, but I don't have those singles. So, oh well. um, and then I think I sold the trades too, so I don't actually have any of the New Mutants Sienkiewicz stuff.
You
Um,
have it in that giant box, though, right? The giant version?
I did have it, but I think I might have sold that book too.
Oh my God. You were
Yeah,
so pumped to get it.
yeah. I did sell it. It was I decided that I'd rather someone else that was going to appreciate it more would have it because I literally got it, was excited about it, and then put it at the top of my shelf and didn't look at it.
What's your point? That's what I do with all my books.
Well, that one was a little bit too expensive for me to do that with.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess I felt guilty. I kept looking at it and I'm like, I'm not going to look at this again. Like I should let someone else have it. Anyway, Here's a pretty neat one. I got this one signed by Charles Soule. This is an issue, I think it's the first issue of his Thunderbolts run. It was a quick one-shot issue focusing on Frank Castle. I really, really enjoyed when Soule was writing the Thunderbolts for the brief period that he did. But yeah, issue 12 was pretty cool, and he signed that for me at a comic shop out here. Here's one. Another kind of recent one, Black Widow #1. I got that one signed by Phil Noto at a convention out here. This one I really like the negative space of the buildings against the red there. Little detail in the eye. Phil Noto is always just a really clean-looking artist and a favorite of mine whenever he's working on something.
Look at you using your art degree to highlight negative space. Very good.
This one's another awesome one. I got this one signed by Kevin Wada. She-Hulk, Charles Soule's run. I'm disappointed that Kevin Wada doesn't do like interior work on books. The only interior work I think he's done is like that one issue of Wicked and Divine, which was like a magazine with photographs for the articles, and so he drew what was supposed to be the photographs. But Wada did all of the covers for She-Hulk by Charles Soule, and I absolutely love this one. You see the silhouette of She-Hulk flexing, but within the silhouette, you get her stepping in or out of that silhouette with her professional attire on. I think it works really well for the series. The rest of the series had beautiful covers as well, but this was definitely a favorite of mine. I bought a print from Wada whenever I met him of a bunch of Pokemon characters. I thought was a really fun print that he did. Here's a little bit older of an issue. This is the first issue of Invisibles. I really enjoy the kind of minimalistic. It's almost like a Warhol print, the way that it's the grenade is painted on here, and I really enjoy that aesthetic of the image, I guess. I found the issue for like $1 at a Half Price Books, so I bought it, no questions asked. I've been meaning to have it like framed and on my wall because I think it's a really good just piece of art in its on its own. And then I've got a couple of copies of this issue. Here's Sex Criminals #1. This series has a lot of great. It also uses minimalism and negative space on basically the cover of every single issue. On this one, you get the. Whoops, I don't know why, but Siri started talking to me. This one, you get the image of the book over her crotch. She's got the a whip and a gun on the pink background. I have a penchant for bright colored backgrounds. If it's a bright like teal or hot pink, I really like that being used in cover images. So I've hung on to this one. I've let all my other Sex Criminals issues go aside from the first one, but I do have a variant cover of that one.
I love that one.
The joke cover of Zdarsky and Fraction. I absolutely love this cover. I actually had it in a frame next to my bed several years ago. I'd really like to get this one signed by the creators. I like this one. Honestly, I'd probably hang on to that cover longer than I did the original.
Yeah.
This one's not so much a great cover, but it's a great issue. Sea Bear and Grizzly Shark.
What the hell are you talking about?
They got mixed up. This was a one-shot released years ago. I think like 2009 or something. And it's Ryan Ottley and Jason Howard, and Ryan Ottley does Grizzly Shark and Jason Howard does Sea Bear. The better of it's two different stories, but the better of the two is Grizzly Shark, and it's basically a shark in the forest that like comes out of the trees and is eating people. It's hilarious, it's violent, it's grotesque, and it's absolutely perfect in every way. The Sea Bear segment was not nearly as good. I think it was taken a little bit more seriously, but basically just like a grizzly bear that swims and attacks people in the water. But years later, like last year or something, they brought this back, and this is a black and white issue that they released in color, and then they released 2 more one-shots continuing the story of Sea Bear or of Grizzly Shark, and I believe also of Sea Bear. But this is just a fantastic issue that I've held on to for years, because I think it might have been reprinted at this point since they did the other installments. But until then, this was the only way that you could get Sea Bear and Grizzly Shark. And sometimes I just need the chuckle, so I'll pull that out.
Mm-hmm.
The next set of issues, actually, I'm going to do those last because it's a set. Next, here's a variant for the first issue of Batman Incorporated Volume 2. I am a huge fan of Frank Quitely.
Mm-hmm.
He did the variant of this first issue. You get Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson, again, with the very bright colors in the background. It's got kind of those fluorescent lights going through there. I don't really know what the motif was that they were going for in the back, but it looks like a neon sign. But regardless, I bought this copy of this issue, and I held on specifically to the variant and let go of all my other singles for that run. But absolutely love this one. This one actually is one of my all-time favorite covers. Web of Spider-Man #1. The black Spider-Man costume. He's on top of the gargoyle on the edge of this building. I really love. This is it's Charles Vest. I was about to say Mike Zeck, but it's Charles Vest did the artwork on this one. I just adore the painting on this issue, the stark black of the costume. I've always been a fan of the black costume, and I just love the little, the font, the web of font on there. Fantastic cover. I think I ordered it on eBay for like $10 several years ago. That was one that I used to have in a frame on my wall, and since then, I think I used the frame for something else, so I haven't had it up. That reminds me, I have a couple of framed issues somewhere. I might have to dig them out of the attic and show them in a little bit. And then the last 10 here are a set that I've had for several years. I know Jess has this set as well. It's 10 because I'm missing 2 of these dozen issues, and that's the single issues of Watchmen. Each of these is a classic image, especially the first cover with the smiley in the blood. I've got, issue 2 has the seemingly crying statue. Issue 3, I'm just making sure I'm not skipping anything, because I think I'm missing 8 and 10 just kind of randomly. Issue 4 was one of my favorite issues of the series, the issue on Mars. Issue 5, and then issue 6 is another favorite of mine. That's the one, Fearful Symmetry, I guess was the title of it, where the issue is mirrored from front to back. Issue number 7, you get Archie in there. Like I said, I'm missing number 9 or number 8, but here's number 9 with the perfume bottle spinning. This one I also love. I had this one as my background on my computer for a long time. That's like the snow on the kind of like dome, and it's just brushed away to form the same, like the outline of the blood drop that's on the smiley. And then finally, I've got the final issue is the Doomsday Clock covered in blood. So those are all of these singles that I had picked out. There are other things that I have, in my collected editions that would be more favorite covers of mine. But a lot of those are singles that I actually hung on to because I was like, damn, I love that cover. I don't want to sell that when I was selling the majority of my singles. I should probably jump in my attic and pick out those other ones, or maybe I have them somewhere. But yeah, you should go ahead and start talking about your comics.
Okay, everybody take a deep breath, because we're going to go into the Wayback Machine and go back to my childhood. These are all childhood covers. Riley covered the modern age very well, and I'm going to go back to the things that struck me emotionally as a kid. And I will start off with the greatest cover of all time, and that would be Flash of Two Worlds. I have this, but it's in a safe deposit box. And I love this cover because it reintroduces Earth 2, the concept of Earth 2, Jay Garrick, and I just absolutely dig this cover. I love it a lot. And in the same Omni, I like the purple background, and this one's hard to find in good condition because of the purple background. But this is Flash with Abracadabra, making him vanish from his uniform. And I took these covers seriously as a kid. So I was like, whoa, how'd he do that? What happened? And so those are two of my favorite Flash covers. And here's the third Flash cover from when I was a kid. And this one freaked me out as a kid. I don't know why, but it just gave me the willies. I just didn't, it scared me. I still bought the issue. I still have it. But it's Abracadabra turning Flash into a puppet. And I was like, ooh, he's a puppet. That's creepy. What's going on there? But I love the colors. And anything Flash is great because of his red uniform. And his uniform's so classic. But Abracadabra using his 64th century magic or whatever, 26th century, 64th century, whenever he came from. But I love this cover because it creeped me the heck out.
So what you said that the other issue was hard to find because of the purple cover. What was it about the purple?
Well, hard to find in grade, good grade, because purple shows off. If you get a dark cover, it shows off the flaws a lot more than something, you know, another one that's hard to find in good grade would be a purple cover like this. This is another one of my favorites, Dr. Fate and Hourman in Showcase. It's hard to find. See, this one's beat up. I have a much better copy of it. But this one's beat up. It's hard to find these purple and black covers in good grade because the spines show distress so easily,
right,
as opposed to other ones. But this is another favorite of mine just because in the Silver Age, it brought back Golden Age heroes. And let's see, what was the... here's one that's in a little better grade, Dr. Fate and Hourman, also in Showcase. I love these two issues. Now, the comics, I read them recently. They make no sense. I mean, I love Dr. Fate. I love Hourman. They made no sense. They made sense to me as a 12-year-old, but oh my goodness. What the heck are we talking about here? This is one of the greatest covers. I have this as a poster on the wall of the Batcave. I remember being probably about 15 when I got this. It was 15 cents. And it was a big deal because this is from my original collection. This was a big deal because Kryptonite Nevermore. And he's breaking the Kryptonite chains, famous Neil Adams cover. And I really dug this one. It was just powerful. To me, it marked a brand new start for Superman, a brand new adventure for him. It had great Kurt Swan and Murphy Anderson art in it. And I loved this just because of the power of him breaking those Kryptonite chains. And here's another one. This is a great Bernie Wrightson cover that I have in really nice shape. This shows you how tough a black, this is in solid shape. It's an all black cover, and it shows you how hard it can be to find something in good condition, in good shape like this. But this is House of Secrets with Bernie Wrightson's cover. It's pretty rare to be able to get a copy like this in good shape, but as you can see, the spine is solid. And it's just a beautiful Bernie Wrightson one.
I love that. It's kind of like a, what do they call it? Churrasco with the shadows.
There you are, throwing that art degree at me again. I love this one, a Green Lantern, because it brought back Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern, into it. It's got them dueling it out. I love this one too, because I love the Golden Age. You're going to see a lot of that. Golden Age heroes brought into the Silver Age. You'll see a lot of that tonight in my favorite covers, just because I loved seeing Earth 2 characters involved in Earth 1 epic adventures. And this is a classic, I think. I always loved this. This is Infantino art. I think it's Infantino and Anderson. But I love this one because it was with the Spectre and Flash. The this was a cool one. This is one that's hard to find in good grade too, because of the black color. I reread this recently. This is a Brave and Bold issue. I reread this and it barely makes sense either. I mean, I don't know. It was great when I was a kid, though, I'm telling you. And then here's a couple. Now, this, I have a better copy of this. This is a Brave and Bold with Starman and Black Canary. This is another one that's hard to find in good grade because of the purple cover, but I love the fact that they brought the Golden Age heroes and put them in Brave and Bold. This one I just love. I think I have 3 versions of this, and each in better grade. This is one that's so beat up. I'm sure this is my childhood copy, and then I spent real money to get it in better shape. Here's one that's in really good shape. It only cost me $9 at a comic book show, probably back in the 90s, but it's Starman and Black Canary. This one, and it's got Wildcat. So this hit all the right notes for me because it had all these Golden Age heroes in it, including Golden Age villains.
Who's the dude with the skis?
That is Mr. and Miss, the Sportsmaster and Huntress. Huntress was a villain. That's the Sportsmaster.
The Sportsmaster is the guy who can beat up Alan Scott because he's weak against wood and he uses a wooden bat, right?
Probably.
I think there was like a 3-issue arc of Detective Comics written by Ed Brubaker called Made in Wood, and I remember it had the Sportsmaster and he beat the crap out of Alan Scott because he's using a wooden bat. I'm pretty sure that I remember that correctly.
That's a crazy weakness to have.
Yeah, I mean it's not so much crazier than being weak against yellow. So
right.
The Green Lanterns have crappy weaknesses. Ooh, that's a really nice looking cover.
Yeah, I love this cover. I've got a bunch of these Peanuts. This is back when not only was Schultz doing his strip, but he was also doing comics for Dell. And these are way rare. And so I'm not going to get rid of this. And these are actually really funny stories. So I picked this one just because I love this as Snoopy watching TV with Charlie Brown. This is something I picked up at a show. This was before my time. This was back in the 50s. But I picked this up at a show, and I just love this Peanuts cover.
That really fits my like minimalist sensibilities. Like you'll notice a lot of the covers that I like have very minimum. It's just like item A, item B. You get the character, you get the title, and it's very like minimal. Not a lot of stuff going on. Like a lot of the covers you had before, it's a lot of action, a lot of like characters punching other characters and stuff.
Yeah, that's a theme in my covers.
That's funny because it's like the opposite of what my covers are. Like yours are very action packed. It's like you're already getting part of the story, and then mine are very like more like it's this static image. This that's designed to be more of an art piece than to be part of the comic.
Yeah. Here's something that I just dug out that I forgot I had until I dug it out. But to me, this looks exciting. I think Gabe found some of these in his store recently. And this is the Silver Surfer, these Fireside books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that one at Half Price Books a few weeks ago, and I had asked Gabe if he needed it.
Oh, you saw it at Half Price Books? How much was it? Do you remember?
Like a few bucks.
Wow, if you can find this in decent shape, this is worth some coin.
Oh, it was not is that paperback?
Yeah.
It was a hardback.
Oh, that's interesting. These are Fireside. They put out a few of them. I think I have another. No, I don't have another Fireside with me, but there's a couple other Firesides that I have. But that's this was the only. I don't know that this has been reprinted. I think this is the only way to get this particular story. So I always dug this cover with Galactus and Silver Surfer's girlfriend or whoever she ended up being. I always love that cover.
That is a good one.
Here's some more action. This is in really nice shape. It's a purple cover that's in hard to find condition. This is Batgirl, and this is Catwoman in a costume that I think was only for this issue. Because I haven't been able to find her in this costume except for this issue, the green costume. That's a pretty rare. I'm not saying the issue's rare because of it, but it's a rare appearance of this particular green costume. And this is Batman 197. So I really dug this cover just because of the purple and green, and of course the girls battling over Batman. This spoke to me as a kid and speaks to me now as an adult. Speaking of Batgirl, here's one of her early appearances, and it's completely chauvinistic. Batgirl, come on over here and help. I have a bigger problem. I have a run in my tights.
Oh my god. That's like those weird like racist covers you have.
Right.
Like the
right.
Lois Lane. I wonder what it would be like to be black. Like,
right.
God.
Yeah, definitely a product of his time. This was probably 1967, 68 when they introduced Batgirl onto the Batman 66 TV show. Here's one that I have. I can show you both sides. This meant a lot to me because in 1971, I broke my arm in summer camp and had to come home, and I had to get an operation and all this stuff. I was laid up for the rest of the summer. And I remember that this issue came out, World's Greatest Superheroes, for 50 cents. That was a big deal to spend 50 cents on a comic back then. But it was 100 pages, and it was a wraparound Neil Adams cover. And it features the Golden Age Awesome Heroes by Neil Adams on the back. You can even see Earth 2 Robin up there.
Yeah.
So this meant a lot to me because I read this issue probably 100 times that summer. And it helped inspire me to really love the Golden Age because it's all Golden Age reprints, which is how they padded out their 100-page super spectaculars.
So it's still a big deal to get a 50-cent comic, but I don't think that's the same the same reason.
I have the original issue, Dave K, but this is one that's in better shape that I rebought. The one I have is thoroughly beat to heck. I still have it and still read it. But yeah, I bought this just to have in better shape. Here's one you'll appreciate. I don't remember when I got this, but I got it. It's pretty hard to find, and it's in really nice shape because of black cover. And it's got the covers by Bob McLeod, and it's New Mutants.
Yes.
Yeah. And I love this cover just because it looks so action-packed without, word bubbles or anything.
Right.
But you can see what's going on in it, and so I love this cover, and it's hard to find in grade because of the black borders, and I just dig this cover a lot.
Well, yours is looking good.
Yeah, it cost me. That's why it's looking good. And here is this. Also, I have a poster of on my wall because I think it's such a classic cover. The Origin of Captain America. He's bursting through the newspaper of the 40s, and this just looks really cool to me. I love this. To me, this is sort of minimalist. No words, just bursting through powerfully through the newspaper. And this was published in 1969, so it's still only 12 cents.
That's probably like top 10 coolest Cap covers.
I would agree with that. This to me is, I've got two really cool Batman covers. This is one of the most famous Neil Adams Joker cover. I think this is Batman 251. 251, yeah, from 73. I have my own copy of it, and then I bought a really nicer cover of it. So this is a classic Joker cover by Neil Adams, and I just love this to pieces. Which brings me to my next Batman that I have my own copy of, but I also got a slabbed copy of it because it's in really nice shape. And this is the Ra's al Ghul cover of Batman, which as a
hairy chest.
Yeah, this is very hairy and muscular. Neil Adams cover. They're both, shirtless, and he's got Batman's costume in his hands. And I was like, "Whoa! How did this happen? What? Who's this? Who's the demon? What's going on here? How'd he best Batman in a fight?" And that was me as a teenager or as a kid. Just the covers sold me. That's how it was buying them off a spinner rack in a drugstore. You looked at a cover and you just went, "Whoa, that's amazing. I don't even know what's going on." Which now I'll show you something that I have in a safe deposit box. So I'm showing you the cover because when I saw this cover, it was I still remember it was on the drugstore comic rack, and I thought, what the hell is this about? Who's that other guy practically? I know who he is. He's a minor character, but what's he doing on this cover, and how dare he, and what's this about? And that is Green Lantern 76, which is the birth of the social conscience in DC Comics. A lot of people think it's the birth of the Bronze Age. But Green Arrow's shattering the lantern while Green Lantern recites his oath. And I remember picking this up thinking, what's going on? How can this guy shatter the power battery? And how dare he? And this is probably going to be some stupid story. And then in like the first 3 pages, Green Lantern's being accused of racism and everything. And it was awesome. And that brings me to another Green Lantern, Green Arrow one. This is the classic one.
Yes.
Speedy tying off, taking heroin with Green Arrow not having the answers to the fact that his ward was a junkie. And this was when I saw this issue, I said, I was well into Green Lantern and Green Arrow at this point, and I was like, whoa, this is going to be some serious shit now. I mean, Speedy tying off, that's just unbelievable. He's got the works there in front of him and everything. So this is, to me, is just a really powerful cover. And the next cover was pretty powerful too, where he's going cold turkey. And this is a classic cover too by Neil Adams and Dick Giordano. This is also another classic one with the syringe. And this is my favorite cover of all time. And I'm only saying it now because it's right here at the top of the stack. I've got some other ones. But this is when I was a little kid and I believed every cover that I read. So when I saw this, I thought it really happened, and it's still my favorite cover because it meant so much to me as a kid. And of course, it doesn't happen, but the cover made me think it happened, and it's Robin dies at dawn. And they're on an alien planet like all Batman stories were back in the freaking early 60s and late 50s. And this just, I don't know. It tore my heart out when I saw it. I thought, oh my God, they've killed Robin. Little did I know they would, in the 80s, really kill Robin. But in this one, he's just, I don't know. I can't even remember what it is, but he's not really dead. They're on some alien world, and some alien life form does some alien thing to them, and he's not really dead. But to me, this is always my favorite cover, and I've got it in my display case in the back cave. And here's another good one. This one's in pretty decent grade. It's got a purple cover, so it's hard. It's hard to get in good shape, but this is from my childhood collection, and it harkens back to more Earth 2 stuff. This is a classic JLA cover, Crisis on Earth 3, where the concept of Earth 3, which I believe is the crime syndicate, and they're, I mean, I could check. I don't want to take it out. I don't feel like it. But Earth 2 contacts Earth 1 because of Earth 3 invading Earth 2 or something. I think it has to do with the crime syndicate. Unless the crime syndicate's from Earth X. I can't remember. But that's not important. What's important is this is a cool cover. And I bought this at a comic show because, and it's kind of expensive to find in high grade or any grade because this is such an old comic, and you'll notice that it does not have the Comic Code Authority thing on it, because this is one of the comics that led into the Comics Code Authority, and that is Shock Suspense Stories with the Klansman and the woman, so Wally Wood cover, hooded men around a woman scantily clad. I mean, this is typical of those EC stories back then. And I just love this because it's so controversial and so beautifully drawn. I mean, the art that Wally Wood did was amazing. But I love this one just because it just strikes an emotional chord in me. And I loved all those EC comics, you know, the needle to the eye ones and things like that.
Jess is just into some really weird shit.
Yeah, I am. And this is a Kaluta cover that is not rare or expensive or anything, but I just remember really digging it. I dig the white against the blue. It's a Kaluta cover, Adventure Comics, and I don't even remember what the story is here, but there's a winged horse going after some mountaineer with a gun. And it's just a really cool Kaluta cover, and I just dig it just because it's cool looking.
I've seen that one before.
Yeah.
It definitely a really nice cover right there.
Yeah, and then here's a good one. This will be my last one. This is The Death of Gwen Stacy from the personal collection of Jess Bragg when he was 15 years old. Or wait, when was it? Oh, it's 14 years old. 73. So yeah, so I dug through my collection a little while ago, and I found both issues of Death of Green Goblin. This is the Death of Green Goblin in this one, because the first 121 was the Death of Gwen Stacy. So this is just a classic cover to me that I love, and I got it in decent shape considering I got it back in 1973.
Oh yeah, got a 9.0, and you had that in the 70s.
Yeah, actually, and the Amazing Spider-Man 121 came out to a 9.4.
What the fuck?
I know. Considering I had it as a kid, I don't know how that happened.
Kids can't take care of their own fucking body, and you got comic books
right.
near mint condition.
Right. Yeah, so I was pretty pleased when that got graded. So those are my favorite covers. I'm sure the readers have their own favorite covers. Or the viewers, rather.
Now, I've got a lot of other favorites that I just didn't have on me at the moment. I guess I could go over and get some of the books off of my shelves and look at them, but I think it was just really interesting to see like what each of us looks for in covers. Like I was mentioning before, like, you know, you had a penchant for a lot of those action-packed covers. A lot of the earlier ones had, you know, the word bubbles on them and stuff like that, and it was just a really, you know, a big departure from what I looked for in mine. So that's really cool. But here's another favorite of mine, obviously from my
Oh yeah.
favorite run of comics ever, Animal Man by Grant Morrison. The Brian Bolland covers on this series were great from #1 until the end, I think 27. But issue #5 in particular was that really cool one. That was kind of the first issue where you get the kind of, I guess, the hand of God in there,
Right.
messing with the story and stuff. And it was that story of Crafty, which is basically like a Wile E. Coyote type character, and you know about his demise and stuff like that. And it was just a really great issue and an amazing cover to go along with it.
Is that the one where Grant Morrison's breaking the fourth wall and sticking his hand in, saying "I created you" and things like that?
Well, spoilers, but yeah.
That's from the 80s.
Yeah, it is from the 80s, but for some reason a lot of people are not familiar, I guess. And
Well, that's ridiculous. That's a
so that's
great thing.
yeah, so that's that's my absolute favorite runs in comics ever. And that cover in particular has, I know it stands out for a lot of people. Let me get one. I've got a Daredevil cover that I really enjoyed. This is from the Mark Waid run, so definitely more recent. Marcos Martin and Paolo Rivera, who worked on this series, both did a lot of very very classic, like reminiscent towards Silver Age artwork style on their stuff. And the cover art was fantastic all the way through. Well, the majority of the covers were A+, and there's one in particular that I'm trying to find in here that was just amazing. And I've been wanting to get either a print of it or just a poster of it for the longest time, and I haven't found it yet. Geez, where is it? Oh, there's two of them. So I think it's numbers 9 and 10 of this run. So here's issue number 9, and it was a story where Daredevil is against Mole Man, and you can see he's underground with all the moloids and stuff here, and it's he's using his billy club kind of as an oar as he's going through what I would say is supposed to, I guess, be like the river Styx, because the artwork here is meant to mirror not in that image, but the next cover. But I want to point one more thing out on the cover of number 9 is the top part. There's like the lines on there because it's supposed to be like his radar sense on that top part. And then the next issue, number 10, this one is supposed to look like the wood print artwork of what is it, Edward Dore, who did the Paradise Lost, and it has all the intricate details all over it. And even like you can tell it's meant to be like this classic looking stuff, because it even has the very classic font for the DD on Daredevil's chest. The fine lines, it's definitely supposed to be emulating because those wood prints, it was carved in the wood. So whenever they made those prints, you would see those fine lines in there to kind of emulate the shading in there. So that was kind of the goal on those covers. And those two covers, I would absolutely love to own those two as posters and just have them in my home, because I think that they're some of the most beautiful modern pieces of comic art that we've had in a long time.
While you were showing those, had your behind your back was Secret Warriors Omnibus. I just got done with that, and that has some of the most beautifully minimalistically arranged covers. Speaking of beautiful minimal covers. I thought Secret Warriors did a really good job with their covers.
Yeah. Yeah, the pretty much everything that Hickman does, he has that kind of minimalist style to his stuff as well. And a lot of the cover work winds up reflecting that. And I think Secret Warriors did a good job with that. Because you get each of the covers, it's half of it is that stark white, and the other half is an image. And throughout a lot of the arcs, that image connects. And you can see that on the back cover, how the images wind up connecting on there. But yeah, he did have really great covers on that series.
That was a boss book.
That was a really good book. So that was your first stop on the Hickman readathon, right?
Correct. And I'm getting Architects of Forever in the mail because I lost it in the flood. I'm getting the hardcover in the mail, and then the sequel will come out. And in between that, I'm reading Fantastic Four 1.
And I have to correct myself. I said Edward Doré, but it's Gustave Doré. And he did you'll find those wood carving artwork pieces of Paradise Lost, Dante's Inferno, I believe. And then there's illustrations from the Bible and a lot of other stuff as well. Don Quixote, he did some stuff for that. But his Paradise Lost, I think, is probably the most famous images that he's done. And if you look at those and then you look at that Daredevil Mark Waid issues 9 and 10, you'll really see what I'm talking about, where he was trying to emulate that style. And I think he did a really successful job with that.
Throwing that art degree at us tonight. Man, that's impressive.
I don't know. It's just my opinions.
No, I think it's cool.
I took a lot of classes, art history, and that's just one of the artists that stuck out to me throughout my art history classes. And not only in art history, but also when I was in high school and I took a bunch of English classes and literature classes, and we were reading Paradise Lost and Dante's Inferno, and the artwork, I was like, okay, well the poem is good, but the artwork is phenomenal. God, there's too many covers I could pull out. I wish I had prepared a little bit more, but I was reading before I jumped on the show.
I was pulling books, man.
Yeah, I can tell. I've been outpulled. God, I'm trying to think of a bunch of the other covers just off the top of my head that I enjoyed, but man, I love comics, man. Have some good damn covers out there.
Mm-hmm. That's what's great.
Oh, there's a really good cover from... There's a lot of really great covers. Here we go. Marcos Martin did on The Amazing Spider-Man during Slott's run. I'm holding this up with one hand, but this is one of the earlier issues of Dan Slott's run on Spider-Man during Big Time. Very minimal. It's just, Peter with his mask off, kind of inverted the colors of the costume. The webbing kind of looks like blood coming out of him from beneath him on the stark white background. This was the story arc where, spoilers for a decade-old comic, Marla Jameson is killed by a serial killer criminal dude, and Peter goes off on this whole, nobody dies from here on out, nobody. And that was the beginning, the very dramatic issue where that whole thing began. And I think that was also the issue where Slott's Spider-Man's really, I was like, okay, yeah, this guy definitely knows what the fuck he's doing with this character. Fantastic comic. I don't know. I could talk the whole night away just on covers and stuff, but
yeah, me too.
I guess the other main thing that we're supposed to be doing is that giveaway, man.
Oh, that's right.
No, I don't think I can stay for the whole giveaway because I've got to do house stuff.
That's all right. I can handle it myself.
But yeah, I need to catch myself before I talk for 5 hours about beautiful comic book covers. But you know where you can see, kind of pick into my brain a little bit as to what comic covers is on my, not my, Omnibus Collector site, but on my old Tumblr. Let me find it. There was I did a series where it was like my favorite artists and yeah, favorite comic artists, and I just found the tab, and I have like 100 different artists listed, and each artist I chose 9 of my favorite images,
Mm.
and so I have Daniel Acuna, Raphael Albuquerque, Mike Allred, just going in alphabetical order, and just a ton of different creators. And I chose my absolute favorite covers from each of those creators and made little collages with those. So I can provide a link to that. I don't know if are you able to provide a link in the chat if anyone wanted to see that?
Yeah.
Okay, let me.
You want to send it to me in our chat?
Yeah, I'm going to send it to you, and then you can provide that, because that really, like, without having to listen to me drone on about artwork and shit, that will give people kind of an idea of some of my favorite pieces of comic art. And some of them are not covers, but just some of my favorite artists. And I labeled it was my favorite modern artists. So these are like 100 of my favorite modern comic artists, not classic ones, because I was like, damn, that's a deep hole to dig into.
Yeah, I just posted it.
Okay, awesome. Well, I appreciate you getting that, and I appreciate the history lesson on some of those comics. That was really awesome, because I know a lot of those issues, and I know a lot of those covers, but it's really cool always to hear someone who's directly familiar with them, someone who grew up reading those, talking about that, and just again, the difference in our tastes is really fun to see.
Yeah.
And I wish that, because I'm sure Omar would have had some crazy 90s shit going on, and like X-Men stuff, and he would have had a completely different take on it if he could have been here this evening, but that's okay. But with that, I'm gonna go do some house things. I have to clean the kitchen, and then I need to read some books and get ready for tomorrow. Fridays are big for us at work, and good luck to and good luck and good fortune to those who are entering in this drawing for the $50 gift card for IST for this month. Those are our wonderful sponsor, and this is one of the reasons we love them so much, is because they help us to give back to our viewers, and that always makes me happy each month when we get to make someone a little bit happier with that little freebie there. So Jess, thank you for having me, for hosting the show, and thanks for taking on the duty of the little contest.
Thank you for appearing. It's always good to see you.
Yeah, always great to be on. I wish I could dedicate more than just the 1 day per week, but I will see you all next Thursday, if not sooner.
Peace
Adios.
out, brother. Okay, so it's just me now. So, wait, I had a trivia question. This is for the $50 In-Stock Trades gift card, our fabulous sponsor. Here is what the parameters are. Do not answer this in the chat. I'm going to give you the email address. You send your answers to the email address. If you answer it in the chat, I'm going to, with peace and love, stop the contest, and we're going to do it again on Monday. So do not answer the question in the chat. Peace and love, peace and love. I really mean it. Don't answer in the chat. The email address is omnibroslive@gmail.com. Once again, omnibroslive@gmail.com. I will type it into the chat. omnibroslive at whoops, I misspelled mail, gmail.com. omnibroslive@gmail.com. There it is in the chat. I'm going to ask you a trivia question, and you will send your answer to the email. And the first 10 people will be entered into a randomizer, and then we randomly pick through the randomizer who gets it. If you've already won, please don't enter. Give somebody else a chance. So here's the question. What writer does Omar really hate? Do not answer in the chat. Send me an email. What writer does Omar really hate? That's right. So send me an email. I am on the email right now. The winner will get a $50 InStockTrades.com gift certificate. What writer does Omar really hate? Email me the answer, and I will. Let's go to the email and see if anybody's. I'm running this show on my own. Okay, good. We have. Holy smoke. Okay. We have, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more person. That's all I need is one more person. We've got 9 correct answers. Very good. And I will put it into the all of you. Boom. Got it. Got 10 people. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to enter it into the randomizer. Randomizer. Oh, perfect. Okay, and here I'm spinning it. Ready, go. Okay, it's spinning. The random. Okay, how long are you going to spin? Just give me a number. Oh, stop. Stop. Okay. That gives me. Whoop. Where'd it go? Email. Thank you. I do know what I'm doing. No, that's not. Okay, wait. Let me go back. And the winner is Taylor Brown. You have the correct answer. The number generator. Many of you answered. The correct answer is Brian Michael Bendis. That is correct. Omar hates Brian Michael Bendis. I happen to like Brian Michael Bendis, but Omar does not. So Taylor Brown is the winner. And I will be sending your name to Omar, where he will contact you. Taylor Brown, send your email address to the Omnibros Live email. Oh, you already is your email that's in here the email that you want to be contacted in, Taylor? I'm going to assume that it is Taylor Brown, yibbity.org. Is that the one you want it sent to? I'm going to assume that's the email. Okay, I will send it to Omar, and he will get in touch with IST and get you that $50 gift certificate. Taylor Brown, nice one. Very good. All of you with the right answer. Thank you for being participants and paying attention to Omnibros Live. The answer was, of course, Bendis, whom I actually like a lot, but Omar does not care for him. And I've got an even better question for the next month, but Omar has to be here because it's embarrassing. So, I can answer questions for 5 more minutes. Unless anybody has a topic they'd like to bring up that I can chat about, or if you have a question for me, this is a good time for me to talk about in-stock trades where you can get up to 50% off your favorite collected editions, 2 to 3%, add loyalty discounts. Omnibroslive gets you a substantial discount every quarter. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging, and over $50 in the United States gets you free shipping. That's InStockTrades.com. Dave K., how many comics are in your safety deposit box? I have 10 safety deposit boxes, and they're the big ones, 10 by 10. So probably 100 to 150. Jess, have you read The Goon, and what do you think about it? I have read The Goon, and I love it. I love the art. I love the humor. I love everything about Eric Powell. If you're reading The Goon, you need to try and get Satan's Sodomy Baby #1 on eBay. It's probably around $12. But it didn't get printed in the collected editions. It's not crucial. You don't have to have it, but it's fun to have it. But he has a letter in there saying that why he couldn't print it in the collected editions, and it's really funny. And he's got a great sense of humor and a fabulous artist. So I love Eric Powell. I haven't read 7 to Eternity yet. I'm kind of waiting for the oversized hardcover, but I may have to get the trades because I heard it's so great. I have Tyler Trent. I have not gotten Heathen yet. The Clarknado asks, what's your earliest graded comic? I have comics graded from the early 50s, maybe late 40s. I have graded comics. Those are in a safe deposit box. Let's see. Did you start ordering the rest of Unwritten? Oh, no, I haven't. Most of them are on ISD. I know. I need to do that, Clarknado, because you already know my thoughts on that, how bummed out I am. Question, what's your favorite superhero team? I think I know. My favorite superhero team would have to be Justice League. Let's see, what else do we have? Have you read The Goon yet? Hey, Jess, when is it cosplay and when is it just cross-dressing? In order of Luis's bet. We'll call it cosplay since it's a bet. When are you going to undress Shakira? Shakira? Still in the same place. I need to get the cobwebs back on it. The answer is, I don't know. Oh, no, Fantastic Four. I like Fantastic Four, but no, it's Justice League. Taylor Brown, do you think you'll do any live interviews on your channel soon? As a matter of fact, yes. This Saturday, I'm going to be interviewing Fangirl. Fangirl has been doing a bunch of reading, and she's read a bunch of great books, and we're going to discuss those. So I am interviewing her, and I am angling to get Frank Gogol, the author of Grief, on to interview him. That might be on Sunday. It depends on his schedule. But thank you very much. That's a nice compliment. I appreciate that. Jimmy Owens, I haven't read Descender 30 yet. I'm going to wait for the trade to come out. So that's the answer to that question. Do you see a Crisis on Infinite Earths omnibus in the future? Crisis on Multiple Earths? Crisis on Infinite Earths? You mean the Crisis on Infinite Earths? I feel like since they've already done Absolute on it, and now they're putting out the tie-ins, I think that's probably it. That's my feeling on Crisis on Infinite Earths. Since they're putting the extras out in a deluxe, I think that, or maybe it's an omnibus, I think that's probably going to be it. That's just my opinion. I don't have any insight, really. Any other questions, or is it time to wrap it up? I can give you 30 more seconds of dead air while I wait for questions, which is not good. I am going to be doing some interviews this weekend. I've got some reviews I'm going to be doing. Tyler Trent, no, I'm not going to be able to make Heroes Con this year, but I'm hoping for next year because I've actually got two friends, Titus and Michael, that go to that, and that would be fun to hang out with them. Titus is, of course, an Omnipup, and Michael is the guy, the sweet guy that sent me Man of Steel soundtrack, which is so rare, which was such a nice thing for him to do. So I'd love to do that. Your next Wednesday show countdown should be your and Luis's top 5 favorite omnibus moments. Top 5 favorite omnibus moments. Yeah, Riley does have an art degree. And he works for a car rental company, but he's like a pretty big deal with them. What Taylor Brown? Can you be more specific? Top 5 omnibus moments? You mean Omnis when they get? Oh, I meant Omnibroslive moments. Oh, okay. Top 5 rebirth. Just do top 5 rebirth books. Okay, that's a good thought. At first I thought you meant something else, Omnipool. Nice to see the humanities getting some love. Yeah, I'll have to have Riley tell the story of his final project in art, his like art class that he did as a senior. It's a classic. Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Taylor Brown and Omnipool. Those are both good top 5. Those are good top 5 questions. I will definitely run those by Luis and see what he thinks. And don't forget, this Monday we're interviewing Emily from IST. Just do a cover of Cardi B's Bodak Yellow. Now, you know I don't know that song. Also, you can do top 5 female protagonists. That's what we're going to be talking about. That's what Fangirl and I are going to be talking about. Strong female protagonist, her favorite song, female protagonist, and my favorite strong female protagonist in comics this Saturday. And I don't even know what. Wait, here's my iPhone. Let me see what Cardi B's Bodak Yellow sounds like. Let's go to iTunes and let me just hear what the song Bodak Yellow. Okay, let's hear it. You can fuck with me if you wanted to. These expensive, these is red bottoms, these is dirty shoes. With the school, I can get them both. Oh, is this the one with money moves? Whoa, I don't think I need the N-word on this show. I won't be doing that song. Sorry. Is that the one with I got money moves? Okay, I know that song. Or a top 5 creators show, 1 week writers, the next artist. These are good ideas. Thank you. Clarknado. That's funny. Yeah, Robin already did do the best one of it on the Howard Stern show, Chase. Yeah, you're right. I love that version of her doing that. I didn't know that was called Bodak Yellow. Yeah, no, that's no fog hat. You're right, Chris M. What books are you looking forward to buying the most this summer? Legion of Superheroes. This is from Taylor Brown. Legion of Superheroes Omni, I think, is this summer. I think Venomnibus is this summer. And Avengers 2 by Hickman. I need that to finish my readathon, which I just started. So that'll probably be Labor Day by the time I get to that. And the Architects of Forever S.H.I.E.L.D. book. I'm really looking forward to that. The final part of that we've been waiting 12 years for. How long? Cognado, who do we hound at Boom to get Irredeemable 4 printed? Boy, that is a good question. I'm going to see Mark Waid in September in Baltimore. If it's not reprinted by then, I will ask him. But I would think go to boomstudios.com or whatever their website is, and everybody just en masse email them and say, when is this getting reprinted? That went out of print way too fast. I think they severely underestimated the amount. There has to be more demand for that book, and I really think they and 5 I think is lightly out of print too, but 4 is definitely going for stupid money for such a brand new book. I go to Boom Studios and start asking them nicely when they are going to reprint that. That's what I would do. Oh, no response, Omnipool, huh? Taylor Brown, yeah, Jimmy Owens knows the answer to this question. What readathon would you least like to do? A run that would be utter torture for you? Jimmy Owens knows the answer to that. That would be Nightfall. Not a fan. I'm not saying you can't enjoy it. I get it. You grew up with it. You love it. Go for it. Not for me. Or Astounding Wolfman. Yeah, not a fan of that one either. Atlantis Attacks, I never read. Tyler Trent, really excited for the Long Lost Trade to come out at the end of June. Up and coming writer and artist that are married. Great book. Okay, good. Long Lost. I will be looking for that then. And there was a question from Jeremy Fedor. How much space do you have left for books? Do you think you'll reach cutoff point in the future? That is a good question. I am going to have to do some weeding out because I am running out of room. I'm doing a big giveaway to the library this weekend to create some room, but I'm going to have to start going through some of these books that I don't think I'm going to reread. And at some point I am going to have to, I am running out of room. It's ridiculous. I have so much to read. I have who knows how much time I have left, but I have less time left than you guys do. And who knows if I'm going to get this stuff read. So it may be time for some of this stuff to go, because I am totally running out of space. A bunch of new 52 trades are climbing in price too. That's right, Clark Nato. Lemire's Animal Man 3, Soule's Red Lanterns 4. Yeah, Demon Knights 1 is also another one. I Vampire 1 is another one. Some of these Gabe Infinity Watch, get a bigger house. Oh, Leela Del Duca would be a great interview. I bet she'd do that. Maybe I'll see her at Baltimore. She is so nice. I would love to interview her. Jimmy Owens asked, did I like New Avengers by Bendis? Just starting it. I am one of the ones who did like New Avengers by Bendis. Not a fan of how he created the team. I thought that was kind of dopey. How Scarlet Witch, I don't want to give it away, but what Scarlet Witch did, I disagreed with how it was started, but I thought the stories were good, so I enjoyed it. Brian McCormick reporting the new Man of Steel by Bendis was good. That is great news. I am looking forward to that. Good. Getting lots of good responses about Man of Steel by Bendis. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up because I'm starving and it's time for dinner for me. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you to our winner. And I will be emailing that, Taylor Brown, to Omar as soon as I get off the air. So thank you very much. And thank you. Please, thank you for watching. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. You can listen to us on a podcast on iTunes or the Android app, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. But also, if you listen to us on a podcast, leave a comment because apparently that does something important. I don't know what it does, but Lou always says you need to leave a comment because it increases our visibility or something. I don't know. Thanks for watching. You guys are great. This was a great chat tonight. We had a blast doing our favorite covers. So peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you very much. Love all you guys.